So this is the video for the trade reviews for the 21st of March 2022. I took quite a lot of trades today, but luckily most of them worked out. I started first missing out on Baba. I had, as you can see on the right side, I had my notes here. I had a lot of inside days, except for Oxy, BEA, which is Boeing. It didn't work out. So I was paying attention to Apple, Oxy, and Baba because Oxy opened above R4, and the only maybe the entry at the second minute will be like good for a break of VWAP, but I didn't take it, and by the time the 5 minutes passed, it was already at R6, and the play will happen at a drop to R4, but it never happened. And I looked at Apple open at S2 and pushed up, didn't reach R3, so I ignored it for the moment. And I was watching Baba, and in the early session I had Baba to take long at S3, but also because I understand that because this range could be too extended, because the pivot sometimes can be too wide. Sometimes the stock trades between S3 and S4, and it just plays those two levels. So my plan was to watch for a rejection of S3 and take short all the way to S4, which you can see it happened, and it happened at the with a doji and break of the 5 minute right at S3. But because Baba at the time, and you can see that on the live video, didn't have a lot of stacks to the downside, it didn't have stacks on the level 2, so I didn't take it because I was trading against the S3 level, against the intuitive side of the Camarilla Pivot Points. So I didn't take the trade at S3, which would have been good. And the good thing about it is that I didn't let it affect my emotions. I make sure to reset and continue to pay attention. And the one thing that hurt me badly was that the plan for Baba was also to take it at S4, and you can see here that the 5 minute close at S4, and I should have been able to take it at the drop of S4 at the break of the 1 minute, the 5 minute, and for a nice maybe 3-hour profit. But I didn't do it because I was a little bit tense emotionally, and I wanna show you also my next trade on Oxy. On Oxy, I was trying to. This is more difficult. This is I was trying to take a trade based on price volume, price action, and on Oxy I took an entry. I wanted to take an entry at the break of the 5 minutes and also of the 1 minute, but this entry was not the best entry. It was a little bit more of anticipation because I saw this doji, and because we were dropping below 9 moving average. So technically it's an okay trade because we have a doji here, and I made an entry at the drop of the 5 minutes, but the stacks were not that bearish at the time yet. We had some orders at 60 to 50, so it dropped, but when it failed to to break below the 20 moving average, and it started to approach the 9 moving average, I decided to get out at break even, because once it continued using the 9 moving average as a support, then that meant that this was invalid, which was invalid. This was not a good trade. But luckily, I just scratched it because no profit, no loss, so it's fine. Now, the stock pushed hard to that stack, and once it failed, I noticed that the moving averages were starting to curl down. I saw that we were engulfing the previous 5-minute candle, so I made my entry at the break, and we have some weird price action here, but I'm happy with this, and I managed to get out a partial at 2R. But because of this weird price action that they were fighting, or the market maker was, I don't know, trying to figure out what to do, it stopped me out on this weird candle. These two were two weird candles. So this is, I will consider this my first legit trade. A little bit less than 1 hour, like $20 on this trade. And then this setup, you can see here the reason I took this trade. This is also part of the playbook of volume price action. So you have this move here, and you have these areas of consolidation. So these are pockets where selling happens. This is an area where selling happens. The people who bought here are choosing areas to sell. So this was the last area that I noticed. So I got stopped out. But I also saw that we were dropping below this area, this rectangle right here. So, and we didn't have any level below it. So I knew if we were dropping below this line right here, 61.67, we will have a huge drop back to VWAP at least. So I tried to make my entry. This will be like a 3-bar play almost. So you have you saw that we tested this level 3 times, and I made my entry at the break of the 5-minute candle with volume, a stop loss at the 9 moving average, 10 cents. My entry is 61.60, 10 cents, partial at 2 to 1, and then almost trigger another partial at 61.20, but it came back to stop me out. And then because we recovered from this level, I just wanted to move on from this, because it's not very easy to trade these kind of setups. You have to be very experienced, and you have to have seen the right information. But you can see that this stock was used triggering all kinds of stops, but it ultimately did what I imagined it would do. It dropped all the way back to VWAP and below, actually. So those are the 2 trades on Oxy. I also took 2 more trades on Apple. Excuse me. The first trade I took on Apple was at the area of R3. I took it, I want to believe, at the break of the 1-minute and the 5-minute candle, but the price pulled quickly, and it seems like I made an entry a little bit in anticipation, but I pressed the button once the price dropped to this level, and I got stopped out once. And what I like about this stop is that I was calm. I reset it. I tried to reset emotionally, because I knew that I did what I was supposed to do. Break of the 5-minute. We have a doji here. We have some selling pressure here that you can see on the top wicks. And we were breaking from the 5-minute, and we also kind of broke from the 1-minute. And the stop loss got triggered, and I got out for -1 hour, a little bit more perhaps. But then I saw this consolidation. These are some weird candles, but I liked how the 5-minute just all of a sudden engulfed and respected this level 166.19. So I tried to make my entry at the break of the 5 minute, and also at the break of the 1 minute. But because the price action was very weird here, uh, I was happy with this entry. I didn't mind that it didn't break below the 1 minute, because we were engulfing and dropping and breaking out from the previous 5 minute candle. And my stop loss was 15 cents at 166 was my entry, and my stop loss was at 166.15. And we dropped below S4, and we had a huge, not a huge candle, but a fairly large volume candle with a doji. And at that time of the day, I had one loss. I was almost at goal. I was $10 below goal. So this loss here brought me back down to less than 1 hour. My goal is 2 hour. So I was kind of like under a lot of pressure to make the goal. And so I decided to get all out at 2 hour here, which proved not to be a wise decision, because the price pulled back a little bit, but you can see here that over time it dropped a lot. This will be 4 hour, 6 hour, 8 hour, 10 hour. Like, this will have been a great run, but I ran out of patience because I was just paying a lot of attention. It was a very intense morning, so I didn't hold. I'm a little bit disappointed about that, but I'm happy with with how I did after taking 4 trades. That the majority of them, 3 of them, were positive. This one, just one loss, one full loss, and it was because simply the price action stopped me out. If it was a little bit smarter, I would have placed a 30-cent stop, but it is what it is. I'm quite happy with this trading, and I like these notes that I have this to remind me to stay focused on the setup. It's a little more intense to do live, but it helped me a lot to stay focused on the plan and to act objectively. So I'm happy with this. I'm gonna keep doing this. I had different plans for the second session that I followed, so and that I did here. So very good trading.